Also, wir sind hier mit Kathrine Switzer, einer der Pionieren der Frauenlaufbewegung. Ms. Switzer, first question is a bit, it's a tragic incident happened last week in Boston, and your name is tied to the Boston Marathon for about like 40 years now.
46.
46 years, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
46 years.
A long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. So you were there again this year?
Yes.
So tell me your thought on this.
Well, you know, I do have this very long history with the Boston Marathon, 46 years. I've run it for 8 years. And then after that, I had the opportunity to begin to television broadcasting of the race. And I have broadcast every televised edition of the Boston Marathon. So this year was my 36th year. And we were, as usual, on the finish line, on the photo bridge. There, you know, high up above, watching the runners come toward us. And we'd called, you know, it was a 5-hour telecast, and we called the men's race, the women's race, the wheelchair races, and then we did a lot of the people's race. And we finished our broadcast. I said goodbye to my colleagues. We agreed to meet in the press room where we were going to carry on the broadcast at the prize giving. I went back to my room in the hotel, which is only 100 meters away, and the bomb went off. So, you know, it was only about 20 minutes afterwards. And of course, you know, there was nothing I could do because our hotel went into lockdown. And, you know, it was such a terrible, terrible thing. Always when terrorism takes place on a holy altar like sports, like it did in 1972 in Munich, it is devastating. And so for Boston, which is such an integral part of my life, to have that happen was devastating. But it also makes me feel very, very resolute, you know, absolutely determined to continue running more than ever. And all the runners feel the same way. Because running makes us fearless, and that's why we do it. And so I don't think there's a runner right now that is afraid at all. And if the Boston Marathon were held tomorrow, 1 million people would be there. And next year, 2 million people will be there.
Tell me a little about the atmosphere in Boston after this, or the atmosphere within the runner scene.
Yes, well, I must say, first of all, I didn't see any of the bomb victims, but I saw people running through the streets, and of course the running community came together immediately, but there was panic sort of and mayhem in the streets because people were looking for people they were waiting for. Like right out of my window, normally everybody's there with their cell phones and their blankets and they're holding up their medals. And then the police came rushing in and got everybody out. And it was a matter of people being so afraid that their family members or friends were finishing, or family members and friends were terrified that the people were right along the start line. I mean, finish line, right along that area. So that was a bad scene. But after many hours of cell phones and people connecting, they found each other, and it all worked out all right. You know, naturally, everybody is very, very sad for the people you know who got hurt or killed. But actually, I believe none of them were actually runners in the race, which was really quite amazing. But we have to resolve this, and of course it's changing our sport. This is very hard on race directors because they have a security issue, but runners are more resolute than ever.